Hey guys, it's Sharon with Little Britain Company, and welcome to the channel. Oh, okay. I know, it was a big sigh. It was a big sigh. I'm excited to be back. And I'm like, oh, where do I start? So today, for your crafting enjoyment, I'm going to do a one-page wonder, and I'm making, these are just so fun to make. And they're really, really easy. So, I made these two cute, so stinking cute, little one-page wonders. These are 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, at least this part, and then the insides are 3 by 3. And I'm just using, this is from one of my previous Echo Park, it's a gardening one. I don't remember the name of this one. But it's just really simple. I just put these together in a very simple way. I don't want them to be too overly fancy because I just think they're nice and easy. How's that? Anyway, let me show you around. I've got inside each one of these, I've just got these simple pockets. So you've got a pocket here, and then a tuck here, and then a pocket and a tuck, and I just kind of go back and forth. But each of these is a pocket, not the front one, but you're going to get a pocket on either side. So let me grab a, I usually have tags sitting right here. Well, I can do this one. So you've got one here, and then there's actually one in between them here, and then is it this one here? They're like all over the place. There's all sorts of places where you could tuck in these different things here, and I think most of them are to the side, and then these. So I don't even know how many there are. So yeah, I made the tucks, and I made the little file pieces. I don't know why I didn't notch that one, but it's cute. And then I used some of the pieces from, these are actually from the Salutations papers. These were some of the ones that people did say they wanted to see. But the winner was, of course, the sunflower one. This cute little one. This one was different because I didn't use any papers, of course. I really wanted to use as the last page this adorable little ducks and the "Oh Happy Day." And I liked the, it just made me think, shake it off. Makes me think of the ducks getting out of the water. So with this first one, I did not add a ribbon to it, a closure. The other nice thing about the other nice thing about this is that it will sit open like that on a table or a desk or something. This is made with the papers that we're using from the Sunflower Market. So let me show you. I really just do, this is a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Is that upside down? Well, darn it. Well, it's just going to have to live upside down. I tried so hard. That happens. And I literally just now realized that as I turned it upside down to show you all, but there we go. So with this one, I added a bit of ribbon. I did not do all of those cuts and tucks. With this one, instead, the tucks are here. I have this tuck. I did a lot of white paper on here just as a photo background, and then the other places are right on top so you can put something in. Actually, this one's on that side. I think the rest of them are from the top. And so this one was even more simple. I really just I did the general single sheet on one side. You can do paper and you can do picture and journaling, and then add extras on the inside. This side does have a tuck. You can put something in there. I thought that was kind of fun. And then very simple. And then my last page was the let's eat. So I honestly still cannot believe I did that because I was trying to be so careful. Okay. So those two, we're going to make one of these. I'm going to make one of these, and, you know, maybe you guys will join me. Hopefully I won't make a mistake again. Oh, well. This actually does not bother me much because, honestly, I think when you turn it over, you can't immediately recognize what it is. But if it really bothers you, you can really just put an additional frame piece on the back and maybe something else at the very back. So you could cover this, and then you'd never know that was like that. So if it bothers you, if it bothers me, if I decide later that it's bothering me, I'll just add something to it. Okay, let's get started. I don't know why I sound like that. Okay, so to do my one-page wonder, and I'm doing it this way only because the orientation helps me. I hope it's okay for you guys. I am going to score every 3 inches. So I'm going to score at 3. I'm going to score at, what is it? At 6. I do really hold my paper down because paper shifts. It's just like that. Paper shifts so easily. So there's my first 3. And then I just turn it 90 degrees. And I'm going to go again. I really wanted to make some of these small ones, and I think at some point I'm going to try to make something even smaller than the 3x3. Let me see. Okay, away goes the scoreboard. There are 2 ways you can do this. I don't know. I think. Okay. I'm going to try using my Cricut, but I've taken my blade out. I don't have any underneath. Sorry about this, guys. I need to find my Cricut blade. So they should be in here. So I have my handy dandy Cricut blades. Sometimes you can buy bigger packs of them. Well, at least you used to be able to. If you still can. And let me get this on. Okay, so I seem to have misplaced the top part of when you put the Cricut blade together. If you don't have one of those, there's a top piece that fits, and then the bottom piece fits into it, and you kind of you push them together, and that's what holds your blade in. I don't know what I've done with my top piece. Super fun. Okay, let's move forward. So with this, you just kind of pick your section. Okay, so what I want to do, and you can use scissors to do this. I'm gonna zoom in, and you won't be able to see all of it, but I think you'll be able to see more of it. See how I've got my indentations here? I've got the same thing going in this direction. So what I want to do is right on that indentation, which I've got kind of in the well there, I want to go up 1, 2, 3 blocks, and I want to stop. this is not wanting to. All right, this one wants to cut in that direction. Okay, so that's one. I need to change this blade too. Lovely. Just want to make sure I've got this in correctly. So this side, I'm going to go up. This one, I'm actually going to come down, and then this side kind of up again, except for my blade is being funky. So I'm going to cut some of that. That is not great. I will say I have not had an easy time finding replacement blades for some of these, and I've had this Fiskars for forever. This one does not want to cut. Okay, so I've got the best cut I think I'm going to get out of that one. Hopefully you've got a nice fresh blade. I would suggest using a nice fresh blade for this, because you don't want to do what I did here. It's not going to make a tremendous difference. It's just not all that fun to deal with. Okay, so we got that one. This one was okay. And I finished cutting through this one. And making sure that I get all the way up to this one. It is important that you get all the way just to that corner and not beyond. I think we're good. All right, so far so good. It's really pretty easy peasy. I'm just going to use my bone folder to kind of smooth out a little bit of that. Okay, so now it's just a folding game. But I like to be pretty particular from the very beginning on this. You can go real quick if you want to, but I really want this to sit properly. And for me, and only for me, that means I go super slow and just make sure that I've aligned it properly. Which also means flipping and turning and flipping and turning and that good stuff. I'm going to try. Let me move this down a little bit. Let me tell you, it is not going to be perfect, or at least for me. At least for me. Let me move that up a wee bit. I just finished watching season 2 of Stranger Things. I started watching it a couple of days ago. I never thought I would get hooked. I avoided it. And now, totally hooked. Have you guys watched Stranger Things? While I'm talking, I want to say hi to everybody out there and tell you all how much I appreciate everyone who is watching, particularly everybody who has, who likes the videos, and everyone who has subscribed. That's just huge to me. Some of you guys have been with me for a while, and some of you are new, and I love it, all of it, every bit of it. then it's a hoot and a holler. Stop for a second. I gotta get something. While I'm doing this, I want to call out a few people who have been with me for a while, and they're just fantastic. Kate. Hi, Kate. And Cindy. And Sheila. And Pat. And Karen. And Carrie. And Tina. And Loie. I think it's Loie. Hi to all of you. There's so many more people I should say hi to. Call out for being just being so amazing to me and with the channel. I just really appreciate it. Okay, so I'm gonna a little trim up here, a little shaving. Get that piece. Okay. So now I have my wonderful book, and I'm going to be gluing a bunch of it together. I have to decide what's top and what's bottom. I don't think it matters. Oh yeah, that'll matter. Well, no. So you can see it all kind of opens up right now, but we're gonna attach it enough so that it does not do that anymore. It's kind of, I actually don't mind the sort of roughened edges. Kind of gives it an older look. Okay. So, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to start gluing this together. So I just have to decide where's the front. And I'm actually going to put that there. That's the front. That's the back. I know I'm going to cover them. I'm not worried about writing on them. And so that does tell me orientation for each thing as I go. So now I'm going to glue these together, but I'm only going to glue them together in a way that allows for pockets. Yeah. So I think what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put the kind of the tabs in there this time. It's kind of a pain, but so I'm only going to do it to some of these front ones. So that's one. And so for this one, and I'm trying to line it up. And then I have to put it back together again just to help me know where my next one is. And to line it up properly. So this one, because I won't have a top tab, on this one, my choice is to leave it or to put a side tab on. What to do. I think I'm going to leave that one. And then I'm just going to keep doing this. And kind of eyeball the middle. And last one. I'm not doing the very front or the very back because those are going to be attached. All right, that should be all set. So there are two things I can do here. One, I can put a piece of paper back here before I put this down. I could do it later too. That's kind of a pain. Or I can just leave it as it is, as that kind of open space. I think I'm going to leave it like that at the moment. And And I'm going to go ahead and start gluing these down. Get that removed. This is absolutely one of my favorite things. Okay, what do I do with that thing? I have a little place over here that I stick my wonderful pen in. Okay, first pocket. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put glue here and here. And like that. And my second pocket, and I'm just going to keep doing it like this, sort of figuring out that glue went pretty far over, but sort of piece by piece what I need to do. This one, it does help having the notch in because the notch keeps me from going in the wrong directions. Okay, this is that middle one. Now, what I'm actually going to do with this one is I am going to leave an opening. I'm just not going to put a notch there. Almost like a hidden pocket. Okay, that was that middle one. And then next, kind of keeps me honest. Okay. Seriously, you don't need much glue. And you don't even need to go to an edge because when you press it down, it's going to move. It is going to move on its own. We are winding down our school year, which is interesting. And getting ready for all the end of the year testing, all of the end of the year stuff. Okay, there we go. Those are done. Make sure I just want to make sure I didn't glue anything together. And it is okay. This is the hardest part. Okay, so this is now a 3x3 cute little album. I'm trying to decide what I want to call it. It's just a cute little album. So on the inside, these pieces are each going to be, I want to say, 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, with the exception of this. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to put a notch into each one of those. I'm going to actually do my covers pretty much at the end because it's going to give me space to do these. I did pick some things ahead of time. I'll show you what I picked. So I am using some of the salutations. Good gracious, I just knocked a bunch of them on the floor. I'm using some of the salutations from, I think most of them are coming from there. There's a few that are coming from this one. So I have salutations number 1 and number 2. I know a few of you wanted to see me work with those. They are quite nice. So I've picked out a bunch of different things to use in this album because I just don't have a huge amount of paper left. This one, I did this one, and I wanted to do some of these and then realized I just didn't have a whole lot left. So I'm going to use some of these salutations on the pages instead of some of the other papers. Also, because not everything matched the bees. So much of the other paper in this pack, and even the sentiments and the cut-aparts in the Sunflower Market pack, so many of those are, most of those, tend towards baking and cooking. And I just didn't feel like the bees did. So, but I wanted to use the bees. This is how I'm doing it. So I guess you could say I'm kind of fudging a little bit. The rest of these pieces I'm going to be using with the salutations. So I'm going to use some of these to go along with those. And I've already cut these. These are for the front and back, and they are it's about 4 1/8 by 4 1/8, each of these. I mean, it would be really cute like that too, but I just really love the bees. I just really love bees. Okay, so let me get started with this. So what I'm going to do is salutation paper, and so on. And I'll show you. Let me figure out which ones I'm doing. You know, I say that and I'm worried that I'm going to change my mind because these are just not big enough. And I picked a bunch that I thought would be great. Like that is perfect, but I don't have many of those. So from me to you. And then I have this one. And we have sending lots of love. That one just needs to be trimmed a little bit. Okay. Doesn't mean I won't use those. Or these. I had this all planned and now I'm completely changing my mind. What to do. I don't want to do that. I don't have enough papers to do that. So my scraps are like this big. They're just not the 2 7/8. These are the big enough pieces. Let me show you what I do have. Let's figure this out together. I need your help. Okay, and it's getting hot in here under the lights. Okay, so I have some of these papers at the moment. And I'm beginning to rethink how I'm doing this. Let's see what I actually do have. So I have more of my bees, and on the back of the bees, I have that wonderful paper. I have the farmhouse, and I have that one. I like the gingham, and I like the flowers. Those are both great. I could conceivably get several pieces out of that one. I like the flowers. I don't know if I would use the pies. And then I have these. So I'm kind of wondering if I should use these instead of the big pieces of this and then cut those down. Or should I do that and then that? I hate wasting all that. Well, it wouldn't necessarily be a waste. I could cut out the middle. Oh, what to do? Got pies. That's about it, guys. I'm really starting to get to the bottom of what I have. So how many pieces do I need to fill here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Looks like 15, 16. 6, 8, 12, 14, 16. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, so I have 16 spaces to cover. I know I'll probably use some of the yellow in here. I like it in here. And then I have this red and green. These two I'm going to put aside. Those are meant for, I'll show you more of what we're doing here. And I could do, I can do, I don't think that's going to work. And this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I could use that one. I'm going to cut these down, and I'm going to see how many I can get out of like this one. And then it's hopefully going to give me a better idea of what I can get out of the rest of them. Some of them I've already cut to 6 by 6. And since I'm completely changing my mind about what I want to do, because, you know, that's good. Okay, so it's got to be 2. You know, let me just use a piece of scrap paper. Just, you know, to be sure about my dimensions. So I've got a little piece of scrap paper here. Is that just one? Yeah. This is a very heavy duty piece of scrap paper. All right, so 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. Let's make sure that that's the right size to go inside. It's actually slightly, no, it's fine for that. I don't know why it looks like that, but. So this is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And really it looks about right. So here goes nothing. So we're going to do 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. Let's make sure this is 2 7/8. This one's actually a wee bit longer. Okay, cute. Perfect. So that's going to give me 2 pieces. Let's see how far I can go. Put this aside. I may use it later, but I just lost all the paper. Oh, there it is. Oh, sorry, that's just funny. This way. 2 7/8. By 2 7/8. By 2 7/8. I've got these itty bitty pieces. Okay, that was that one. Next we have our red gingham. All right. 2 7/8. 7/8. Two and 7/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still have 10 to go. That's just crazy. So I'll do the plain. I'll do it this way. Two and 7/8. Two and 7/8. Two and 7/8. That's 8. Two and 7/8. Interesting. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really? Oh, there's the last one. It's disappeared. Okay. So I've got 10 pieces and I need 16. So let's see what we can do about getting the last. So I can do these 17, no, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. I have those, but I also have these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can cut that one down. Those are pretty close. They just have to be trimmed. 5, because I've done this one before. And maybe 6. It's really dark. Maybe that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Complete change of plans. But it's okay. Let me get these. Actually, I don't know why I just did that, because I need to decide what goes with what. I did not intend for this to be so much of a process video, but here we are. Okay. So they're going to be opposite each other. And I could just put opposite the ones that actually kind of go together. I kind of like those together. Maybe I'll do those two. Okay. I think those are cute. That. And those. I don't know why I like those two together, but I do. Those. And why do I have these two? One, two, three, four. Do it that way. 5, 6. And 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16. But in this direction, right? All right, one sec. Okay, I think I worked out the order I want them in. That was just taking too long, and I did not think you all needed to sit through that whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and trim these down just a wee bit. That's about right. Is it too big? It needs just a touch of a shave here. Cute. And since this is supposed to be a very, very simple album, I'm not going to worry a whole lot about making big changes. This one is actually still a touch too big. What is this? Let's see. That's better. So once I know about approximately, I'll try to put that right in the middle. Hopefully I've got it right. That's close. Okay. So first things, we're finally getting paper down. I know. Crazy. Once this paper starts to go down, the album just starts to get more and more and more substantial. But I did decide not to. I'm just going to put glue all over my hands. Do a backing for those. Okay, 1, 2. Okay. I'll do that though. I like that. Okay, hopefully my glue won't dry. I can do that. This one's perfect, so. Not bad. So I'm really, ooh, that's kind of off right there. Let's fix that. I didn't fix it. The good thing about glue is that it can be very, very forgiving. You do have time limits on it, but if you burnish it, usually you're fine. Oh, okay, cute. So this is better. I had best cap this one to make sure I get that right. That one's a little bit too big. This one is practically perfect. Let me get that in the middle. And then I need to trim this just a bit. Oh, okay. We'll take a little bit from both sides to get it where it needs to be. And let me make sure. I'm just going to get some from the bottom on that one. So that should be cute. Probably took just a little bit too much, but it's fine. All right, you won't be able to hear me because this is in my mouth. The pen. So I just don't normally worry too much about getting it right to the end, as long as I have it within a reasonable distance. The glue, I mean, sorry. I'm actually really liking the way this one's coming out, mostly because that one's just the glue's gonna spread, and when the glue spreads, I am literally just barely shaving here. There we go. So I'm off. There we go. Anyway, so the glue is going to spread, and it will actually spread to the ends. I think. Trying to decide what side I want these on. Sorry, I'm quiet. I have the glue pen was in my mouth. Really, I know that I'm not supposed to do that, but you know. So again, if I put the glue too close to the edge, and this is me, there are other people who are just so talented at this, they can put the glue right at that. But if I put my glue right at the edge, when I spread it, sometimes it'll spread out of where it needs to be. What is going on? Oh no. Oh, I did just do that. Okay. I'm going to switch that for this one. It's going to be fine. Because that's the one that doesn't have one like that. I am going to switch this up. I'm going to just attach this one. You know, you can't have it too far from the edge. You can't have it, you know, all the way in, but really it's surprising how far that little bit of glue will go. There we go. That's not really where I was going to put that, but it is okay. And I like the red with this, so this works out fine. So, yep, that was the one place. Oh, funny. Kind of deciding whether I should put this one on this side. I think I'll do that. Let me make sure it's the right size. It's fine. So I'm just kind of switching off. Now I'm not going, because this one already has so many pockets, I'm not going to add any other tucks. I just don't think it needs it. Really just depends on the ones. I think I'm going to use that magical paper pad and make another couple of these in sort of that really cute Disney-ish paper. But not with, I need to find the top part of my Cricut cutter. I just like it better. And honestly, I don't know if I can get the new blades for my Fisker. Oh, come on. There you go. The other thing I'd like to do with this one when I'm done is get some tags. I'm going to make a few tags to go in here. Okay, this one, I'm going to put this on. So I'm almost at the end, and I'm going to use, because I'm using Best Day Ever at the very end, and I need to, this is way too big, so I'm going to do a little trimming here. And I think I'm going to get rid of this thank you. I'm going to put it aside though, because I may use it for as a sentiment for something else. This one's pretty close. Now I think I might use this one here because there's such a nice amount of space up at the top. Oh yeah, that's cute. And then that one. I think I trimmed too much off the bottom of that one, but it's fine. Okay, and then these last two. Okay, that one's fine. That one needs a super slight trim. Let's see how we're doing here. Okay, there. Go there. There and there. Cute. I'm pretty sure there's a mosquito in this room and it keeps biting my ankles. It's driving me nuts. So it is super weird. So today was Memorial Day. It got cooler, a little bit coolish. And then the rest of the week is going to be rainy and chilly. Okay, so far, this is what we have. It's so cute. It is so stinking cute. So I am loving it. Now, if this part bothered you, you could take something really small. I mean, you don't need a whole lot. You could take something like that and put it right inside. Like, like the bees. I mean, that one's a little bit too big, but you really don't need a lot. Something like that would fit right on the inside. And then, I'll show you what I mean. I'm trying to show you what I mean. You could fit that just like that. That's really easy enough to do. I'm kind of tempted to do it with this one. Make sure I can make it work. There. can kind of see how that went in, and it really does help delineate where the pocket is. Okay, we'll come back out some. So now I have my adorable little book here. I need my, and by the way, I am so close to the end. What's shocking is that there's still like all of this left. I am still working my way through this. So I had pre-cut the these pieces. Now these are the chipboard, and this is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. No, wait, it's not 3 1/8. Nope. I better catch myself. This is about 3 1/8 by 3 1/4 is what it should be. Sorry, I'm measuring it off camera. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's 3 1/8. And the reason for that is that this board's going to go to the end of this. So right there. So it's going to push up. So I need the same amount to come out on this side, and this side, but not this side. So if I did it exactly the same, then it would be off kilter. So I'm going to go ahead and there are two things I'm going to do. I'm going to grab some ribbon because I do want to do a closure for this one. Although I'm kind of working out how I want to do that closure. So I want to do a closure for this one. And I want to do the chipboard. So I'm going to show you the chipboard. Now, when I do chipboard, I always end up with, I use a big piece of chipboard. I end up with all of this extra. So I'm going to use some of the extra to make my front and back. But it has to be the right size. I have to find some sizes here. That one's not going to be enough because that is not, it's just 6 inches. I may not have a piece in here that's usable. It's super thick. This is actually the back of one of the, I think the Echo Park. That might work. I'm going to see if this works. Probably shouldn't have done that part, but let's see if this works because this is, I really don't want to rip it. It'll be fine. This is something I certainly have plenty laying around. I don't cut my chipboard with this. I use my big guillotine for my chipboard. Okay, here we go. I want this to be 3 1/2. Right there, by 3 1/8. So this right now is showing me that it is, that's 6. All right, that one's not going to work. I thought it was 7 by 7, but I had measured it wrong. This is 6 by 6. Okay, so what I would certainly do is to go ahead and measure it and cut these, but I'm not going to do that with this one because it's going to be just a touch too small. So I'm going to go ahead and use the pieces that I've already measured. And those, once I put them on, they're going to go like that and like that. And then they're kind of get it right there. So you get a little bit of a lip around it. What is it doing? There we go. Now you also probably need to remember that once you wrap paper around this, it's actually going to give it just a tiny bit more. Maybe just a touch more. Okay. Make sure these are even. All right, I'm going to show you my little stack here. So I actually have cut a lot. Because I want to make a bunch of these. And so I pre-cut a bunch of them. I'm going to use those two instead of those two. Those two are just not doing what I want them to do. And that's why I did that. I pre-cut a bunch of them so I could make a bunch of these. But I'm not going to have enough with this particular pack of paper. So let me go find the ribbon I want to use and I'll be right back. Okay, so I jumped into my ribbon area. And I found this one. This is actually how I wrap all my ribbon. I get rid of the spools because they take up too much room, and then I can stack these. It's brilliant. It was not my original idea. I wish I could claim it, but it was not my original idea. Okay, so some of this is kind of oddly stiff at the end, and then this part is kind of tacky. So I'm going to cut off the part I am not liking. Now, I'm going to wrap this around and figure out approximately how long I want it to go. To be fair, if you're doing this with your ribbon, longer is better than shorter. If you have a little bit too much and you need to cut it down, no worries. If you have too little and you've attached it, that's a little bit harder. So it is, I think, a little easier to do it this way. Now with this one, you can see I wrapped it around the back, and I really like doing that with these. You don't have to. But personally, that's just how I like to do it. And I am going to attach my ribbon, which wants to curl around. I'm going to put it in the middle. Like this. Now this is fairly thin. So I'm going to find, I have this tape which should work. Let me zoom you in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to try to put my ribbon, keeping in mind where my front is. I'm going to try to put my tape pretty close to the center on that side, and from this side I'm going to start it right about there. Oh, come on. I'm trying to get right over the top of it so I can see both sides at once. I'm going to put it back in the middle and try to even it up. Okay. Now I'm going to really burnish that. If you're unfamiliar with why, why do you burnish like that? It actually has more to do with, when you do that, it helps the tape become one with the fibers of the paper. Okay. So I'm going to go like that. Go around this side. And that's pretty close. So now we've got the cute little ribbon in place, and it's pretty close. All right. Next, I am going to go ahead and just cover my front and back. And this bee paper doesn't really have an orientation, so I'm not going to worry too much about where I'm putting it. I don't have it up and down. Wrong thing to do there. Now this one, I can get right to the edge because I know that whatever goes over, it's just going to adhere to. I could have cut my paper just a little bit longer. I really could have, because I think I'm going to be struggling a little bit with that one, but that's okay. I'm not going to have a whole lot of extra to go around, and sometimes a little extra is kind of nice. Oh my gracious, I'm going to have just a sip of my soda. Okay, now I'm just going to do this. Because I don't want that in there. Okay. Super easy. And then I'm going to go this way. And then I'm going to go this way. I'm going to do the same thing right away with this one, because why not? See what I mean? I don't have a whole lot of extra here, so I could have given it a whole extra inch. I think I only did an extra ½ inch on the sides, which is fine, but I could have given myself a little bit more space. Okay. Now I do have mitering tool. Where is it? If I can find it. What did I do with it? I think it fell all the way in here. I have all of my big tools sitting in here. Oh. All right, I can't reach it. I'll have to pull it out and put it somewhere much easier. Okay, so I have a mitering tool. You lay it down and then you just cut. I just find it just as easy to do this. And I like to just cut a little bit on the inside and then roll with it. And that way I don't cut so close to the corner that I'm unable to hide the corner. So that's those. And then, yeah, this one's tighter. But it will be absolutely fine. So that one actually might be a little bit too far away. Like that. Okay. now all I have to do is glue. I know, I hope I'm not making you all dizzy with my in-out. Okay, so I like to do my smaller, yes, the pen is back in my mouth. Here, I'll just lay it down there. I like to do my smaller sides. And I'm going to go ahead and burnish right away because I want the glue to adhere right away. And everything here is thick. So I'm just making sure that I've got it nice and solid. And another way to do that, if you're depending on what you're working on, sometimes I'll use tape and then a little bit of glue. I do that a lot when I'm working on albums and spines or my hinges. I'll double up on the tape and the glue just to make it hold. So cute. All right, there's one piece, and then those are my shorter edges. And then my shorter edges. Kind of went over with my glue. Oh, see, this one wants to pop up, and when you burnish, it just keeps it down. I don't know. Helps it. And that one. This side. I'd love to hear how you guys are enjoying the whole paper stash smash series that those wonderful ladies are putting on. And don't forget, if you do something, they have that hashtag for you to add. So it kind of gets included. Anybody who looks for the hashtag finds all of this stuff, including me, which is super cool. I'm very appreciative. Okay, so I can't do this one wrong. Now, the one thing that I want to say is you do want to make sure that you kind of line it up like this. Tap it down. Make sure that you're not over your spine here, because if you are, then I was a little too close with these. So when I open, they kind of hit. Oh, they're doing okay. But I don't want to risk that. So I want to do this, and I also want to make sure I've got those lined up well. Look how cute that's going to be. Oh my word. I'm loving it. Loving, loving, loving it. Okay, so instead of putting glue on here, I'm going to put the glue on here because I know how far this one will go out. I'm going to put glue on my ribbon too, just to make sure it holds. Okay, I don't want to put it on that side. Okay, I want it to be right there. Cute. Let me get that out. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. This time I can line it up pretty well with the other one. I'm putting that on top of those so I don't accidentally pull those ribbons and get the ribbons caught up in the tape. I don't want to get the ribbons caught up in the tape and the glue. I don't want the ribbons to get caught up in the glue. Kind of like that one. Okay. Come on. This is like that. And I'm going to go ahead and burnish. Put this on. Now, the last thing I need to do is figure out the cover for this. And I had a plan, but all my plans went out the window. Did y'all notice? All of my plans just went right out the window. I feel like I should have something like that. Let me... What do you think of that cute little label? I really like that little label. I don't know if you guys like the little label. I am really liking the label. All right, let me see if there's something else that I want to do with my cover. I have these great ones, and they are super cute. Where's that other one? I have 1 minute. Okay, so I wanted to look around and find something. I don't know why, but I'm really loving this very simplistic, no title, kind of a make your own title for this one. It almost looks like a it's a food label type thing. So I really like it, and I'm going to use it. It's much more simple than what I normally do. But it just seems to work. How cute. So someone can put their own label on there, their own title, their own information. I do have these stickers that I got, I don't even know when. I am going to use at least, sorry, something just slipped next to me. I think I'm going to put that right there. Just a cute little tiny addition. And I have this big giant sticker sheet from this Homemade, which was one of the previous sort of smashes that I did. This little guy, and I wanted to use this little guy. I think he's gonna be real cute, like in the corner, but for some reason he's like, I don't know whether I lost his actual backing. I'm just gonna glue him down. I think he's supposed to be a sticker. I like him. Okay. It's done. I hope you all like this is a very, very different cover than what I normally do. But I really like it. I don't know why. It just has sort of a nice simplicity to it. So I have 3 adorable little minis to show for my to show for my time. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found something useful here to do. And please, if you have not subscribed, I would really appreciate you subscribing. It helps the channel, helps us grow. More importantly, it helps me bring y'all more stuff. And I'm really, really trying to get to 5,000 by the end of May, which may or may not be doable. So we'll see. In the meantime, you all have an amazing week, and I will talk to you later. Cheers.